vlogsters. I have my cup of liquid patience, which I need this morning because, you know, when you watch something that may get you like fired up, like maybe politically or socio-economically, or you see some injustice, so you get all like fired up, and then somebody in your personal life or your business life says something. You know, I hate the word triggers because it's become such a like a negative connotation necessarily, but basically it just sets off something in you that you're like, oh, that's it. I've had it. I've got to talk to everybody. Well, that is this morning. I was watching some political injustices. I'll just leave it at that because I try not to talk about politics. And I was like all fired up, and there were, as I mentioned before, Emily, my best friend's daughter, practically my niece, she helps me with my comments. She reads through them. She directs my attention to the ones that need my attention, as opposed to just appreciating everything that you tell me. Or she will give me overall feedback, like if I do something and a lot of people love it, she'll let me know that an overwhelming number of your comments have, you know, just people love it or whatever. If there's something that people have touched on, like if I talk about a subject and a lot of people share their stories, she'll share the stories with me, you know, that kind of stuff. So she's really my hands-on, because I'm not making excuses at all 100%, but I've grown so big that I can't do it all by myself and continue to bring you content every day, sometimes twice a day. So, she shared with me that a couple of people, one person actually said not to be mean or not to sound mean. Actually, she said not to be mean, but people have said before, like, not to be critical and not to sound critical. And this is something that's truly, honestly, from my heart. If that's what you're trying to convey, if you're trying to convey concern without being critical, then use a different way to say it. Usually when someone leads in with not to be critical, they're being critical. If you see something that you feel like you want to share and you're not exactly sure how to approach it, I mean, it's called the subtleties of language. I've learned it. I've taught it. That, you know, there is a difference between get me a cup of coffee and can you get me a cup of coffee? Will you get me a cup of coffee? Do you mind if you get me a cup of coffee? Like, all of these things are conveying the same message. They're just saying it in different ways that are taken by the person, regardless of the person's, like, past history or learned behavior. You know, there's different ways of saying it where you know, not to hurt anybody's feelings or to make them feel less than. So one of the things is not to be critical, but I say this with the best intentions. It's really just the positive way of saying exactly what you said in a more positive meaning. I say this with the best of intent. I say this because I care. This is coming from a place of love. Those kinds of things really make a difference, especially when you use the words like love and caring. The other thing is I would like to address really quickly is this is not the first time that this theme has come up. Actually, there's a couple of different things. There was concern about hoarding, and there was concern about that I seem overwhelmed when organizing. So I just wanted to touch on them, and that's not to call out the people who said it. Obviously, they're just concerned. So a lot of people are new. I get new subscribers every day, and they don't really know. Like, they don't go back and watch all of the vlogs. They may go back and watch all of the DIYs and some old hauls, but they won't really go back and watch all the vlogs. So just to reiterate, or for those of you who are new around here, hi, my name is Jeri-Ann Henson. I was born and raised in one little house on Long Island, New York. And in 2012, Hurricane Sandy came through and forced me out. Basically, 6 months I stayed at the place where I worked, and then we moved here to mid-Missouri, which I had trouble finding a job. And because the job that I had, along with a knee surgery, that I will point out was not because I was overweight. I tore a meniscus dancing at a Christian rock concert. My stamina and strength has really never come back. I've always been overweight, and I've probably always been morbidly obese. Comparing like my life, I was a fat baby, I was a fat toddler, I was a fat child, all the way up the ranks. So this is me. I love me. This is my body. I love my body. I try to take care of it the best I can. And I say try, but I really do take care of it the best that I can. I have wills, and willpower and want power are totally at odds with each other all the time. And obviously, it's just a lot of stuff that I, genetically, and we come from a long line of compulsive disorder people. Anyhow, I started my YouTube channel in December of 2016. We just celebrated 3 years. I moved into this office, craft space, in about a year, 2018, so it was a little bit over a year later. This used to be my husband's, well, we shared an office space, but really it was his space. And he really only ever used it a couple of hours a day. So we made some changes around the house because I needed a more permanent craft space. What I was doing was working in the kitchen, and I would work all morning and then clean up to have the family meal and stuff. So we decided it was best that we bring the two worlds together in here. We live with our mother-in-law, who, when we moved to Missouri, she just was renting a small house, and we bought this big house so that we could all have our own space and have stuff to do in. If you've seen, I'm a non-minimalist, and I understand that some people see that as clutter and hoarding. I don't, and that's what I was going to address today. I did mention in the last two cleaning vlogs, one of them I mentioned that as a YouTube DIYer, not just a home DIYer, but somebody who teaches DIYs, if you've ever been a teacher, you know about having to have the stuff to teach with. And when you teach, you actually have to have a couple, because especially on film, and I show the process. If I wreck one, I need a backup. And I don't always buy everything in multiples of 2, but if I have the opportunity to, I try to. So my stuff is not what gets overwhelming. I made Jimmy his tea, and he just came in to say thank you. I left the tea bag in there. Is it done steeping?
I know, I just pulled it out.
Okay. I love you. I hope it's enough, honey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tastes like it.
What?
Tasted like it.
Oh, good. Sorry about that. The organization of the stuff is not what's overwhelming. What's overwhelming, and mostly, almost 100% of the time, what's overwhelming is my brain's and heart and soul's desire to create, and my body's unwillingness to do so. So what I mean by that is, I buy supplies. I see inspirations. I either know how I can do it differently, or know how I can improve on it, or just want to make one, and I buy the stuff. And then, how's my arthritis today? It's not bad. I can almost make a tiny heart. So this is as close as I can get my hands first thing in the morning. And actually, I've been up for a couple hours, but I've been laying in bed. But, you know, sometimes it's only like this. But, you know, then you do your exercises and you work it out, and, you know, it hurts to make a fist. Like, I can make a fist. Boy, if it came down to it, I could make a fist. But it hurts. It hurts to make a fist. So, but sometimes you have to stretch past the arthritic joints to, you know, get them going. Body in motion tends to stay in motion, that kind of thing. So anyway, so sometimes my body and, you know, what I want to do and what I can do are at odds. So it can build up and become extra. Now, here's the thing, and I wish I could. I mean, you could see some, a little bit, I guess, not so much. The area around me is where I keep all the stuff. So the room itself, like if you watched you know, once we had the furniture moved, how much open floor space I do have, and I can walk to the closet, and I have to keep the things around me when I create. I have to keep certain things around me because you never know when you're going to reach around and need something. So like this basket of like farmhouse fabric from Dollar Tree and maybe some from Walmart, I keep it here. Now I keep it in a basket because this is actually like a tertiary guest room. Well, it's really a secondary guest room. I was gonna say tertiary bedroom, but it's the secondary guest room. And if I ever have like last minute guests come, it's easily just like to take the whole basket and put it in our room so that they can have a space. And I've done that. We've done that plenty of times. But it's not the organizing of the stuff that gets overwhelmed. Basically, it's I get frustrated with my body. Okay, let's go back to the fact that I've always been overweight. I've always been super active. I started my first softball league when I was 7. You were supposed to not start till you were 8. This was before they had like free Little League. Actually, they probably don't even have free Little League everywhere anyway. But this was the PAL, it used to be called the PBC, had free softball. And we were very low means, so we never paid to go into any sports. Like, we couldn't afford the Little League fees and stuff. So I was supposed to be 8, and I turned 8 during the summer, but I started while I was 7. So I played in a league. Or pick up games pretty much till I was 21, or played in school, on and off till I was 21. And then I also played volleyball in school. Sorry, I got a frog. I was in a marching band when I'm so sorry. That's rude. Let me take a sip. Maybe that'll help. It's like a tickle. I was just trying to itch it with a burp. Sorry. I was in a marching band since the time I was 11 till I was 18. And you don't even know how much walking you do when you're in a marching band. Plus, I had to walk to practice every day. I mean, practice twice a week. To and from practice twice a week, and to and from the actual like parades and stuff at least once a weekend during the summer. Plus other times, like we had shows and stuff like that, whatever. But I started teaching religious education or catechism when I was 15, and I walked there once a week. I walked everywhere. I didn't get a driver's license till I was 22. I didn't get my driver's license till I was 22. Yeah, almost 22. Yeah, at least. And, yeah, and though we had a public bus system, it cost money. So I remember being in middle school, and my mother was working at the bowling alley in Oceanside, which is like the next town over. And after summer school, or this, you know, like I would walk from, you know, I think it was like 5 or 6 miles to go to the bowling alley to be with her and watch my little brother while she worked and stuff. So yeah, And I always did all this, and I was overweight. I know now it's because I was malnutrition. We didn't have healthy food. We never had vegetables because they cost money. Just the vegetables we grew in our little tiny garden there in suburban Long Island. So it wasn't until my torn meniscus and my surgery that things stopped working for me in my body. I mentioned before that I was always active, and there was really nothing that I couldn't do except this one way to tie your shoes. No, I'm kidding. But now I really try not to let it upset me to think about the fact that I can't do all the things that I want to do, and that I have to give myself the grace. I don't just tell that to you guys, I have to do it for myself. And there's times where it comes naturally, and there's times when you have to remind yourself, just like anything. So, I addressed that. I'm not a hoarder, but it may look like it. Hoarders don't purge. That's what I said in the comments. Hoarders never get rid of anything. I don't save just for the sake of saving. I save to use, and yeah. The second thing is I organize continuously. And the reason you organize continuously, I'm not reorganizing. I'm not coming up with a new system of organizing. I'm putting away the things that I have. Now, the category of video, the title of the video, or the subtitle is really what it is, of cleaning and organizing, is just like a subcategory. That's why it's got a semicolon next to it. Is part of the cleaning and organizing series. Sometimes it's just cleaning. Yeah, organizing is something that has to constantly be done, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not reorganizing, but I have to put the stuff away to put it back. And that's part of the organizing process. Part of a good organizing system is using a good organizing system. Yeah, you can't just set it up and leave it. I actually was thinking that when I was answering the comments. I was like, well, I'm just not going to put it in the box just so it stays in the box. I mean, that's not what it's all about. I use things in there. I buy new things. I replace the things that are in there. It's just whatever it is. But here's what happens because of my limitations and my physical disabilities. I don't use that word for myself. A lot of times I spend all my energy at the store shopping, and I don't have it to come home and put it away right away. And then sometimes, like last week or 2 weeks ago it was, when we did all of the shopping trying to find the Easter stuff, that it becomes 3 days of buying stuff that you didn't put away. So it can build up. And it can get overwhelming if you don't take care of it. If you're overwhelmed by something else, then that could affect it as well. So I was overwhelmed because I couldn't do these things that I wanted to do. So having more stuff reminding me of all the things that I couldn't do. Get it now? Yeah, I thought you would. So anyhow, all of that being said, I am grateful to each and every one of you who stops by to show your support or caringly, lovingly offer some advice. And I'm so grateful that I have this platform to reach out to those of you who are in the same situation as me. If you want to purge everything in your life, go watch Catherine at Doing on a Dime. If you want to live in a house with just a couch and 2 pictures on the wall, go watch Meg at Love Meg, kind of thing. There's something out here for everybody. If you're the kind of person who likes to buy stuff that eventually will get to doing it and will keep it until, then you're here. You're here to be with me. And your body is like at odds with your brain. Yeah, you're here for that. So I appreciate you all. I really do. The goods and the bads, all the things. Yeah, I just wish my thoughts would be like in order a little bit. Because something else popped in my head. Oh, the purging thing. So in the comments, she said, just get rid of everything and start from scratch. And I'm like, well, first of all, who can afford that? That's wasteful. And she's like, I didn't mean throw it out. She meant to give it away. I said, even giving it away, why would I buy all this if I wasn't going to use it? I mean, I'm not just buying it for, I do buy some things for the sake of the channel, but those actually, I have a bag. I call it my gift bag, or sometimes it turns into a box. And what I do is I buy stuff like those journals. I wanted one journal. I bought all 4 journals because I thought they were really cute gifts. You can add them to gift baskets. But my Aunt Sue does trivia night, and she has a giveaway table. And it's the way that I can donate. Besides buying the ticket and playing trivia and bidding on like things, I can help by donating some dollar store stuff for the gift table. And that's what I do. So I think I mentioned it. I think I vlogged about it last year when we made gift baskets on the main channel. I had my gift box I brought that had all my little like dollar store stuff that I thought were cute gift ideas. I just put them in there and I brought them to her house. And that's okay to have too. You know, I know a lot of people with kids, young children, they have gift closets. So they'll go to the Dollar Tree and they'll see like a name brand gift and you'll put it in the gift closet. And then when it's time to go to Johnny's birthday party, they'll go in the gift closet and pull out things to throw in Johnny's gift bag or whatever. It's kind of the same thing for adults. It's just like you have a gift box. It's for adults, and that's where it all goes. But yeah, so thank you for being with me and loving me and appreciating me, because I definitely want to be with you. I love you and I appreciate you. And as always, you take care. God bless. And we'll see you next time. Bye.